If you're a hotel director of sales or a revenue manager, you absolutely know that relentless pressure, right? Keeping occupancy high, making sure revenue stays predictable, it's a total grind. So in today's explainer, we're diving into a massive, and I mean massive, largely untapped revenue stream for commercial hotels, federal government contracts. And more importantly, we're going to talk about how you can lock down these incredibly lucrative contracts with literally zero of the traditional red tape. So yeah, you might want to grab a notepad for this one because this could seriously transform your entire forecast.
Let's just start with a reality that literally every single hospitality professional faces. Empty rooms this weekend? Yeah, you know the feeling all too well. You're staring at your forecasting block, and sure, Tuesday and Wednesday, totally packed with corporate travelers. But then you look at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it's looking like an absolute ghost town. Corporate travel just drops off a cliff on the weekends, right? And during those specific off seasons, man, the entire week can look terrifyingly bleak. You absolutely need a reliable way to plug those giant gaps in your occupancy without completely slashing your rates to the bottom.
Now, the obvious solution here is government travel. The Department of Defense and the VA, they spend literally billions of dollars on commercial lodging every single year. But here's the massive roadblock. It's the classic showdown between the allure of lucrative government contracts and the absolute nightmare of terrifying red tape. I mean, to do business directly with the federal government, you've got to navigate the maze of SAM.gov registration, try to decipher these insanely complex FAR clauses, and deal with electronic invoicing portals that, let's be honest, look like they were built back in the 1990s. For most commercial properties, the sheer administrative burden and the compliance liability, it basically terrifies them into running the exact opposite direction. So the big question is, how do you bridge that gap? Well, that is exactly where Lodging Sources comes into play. We're a woman-owned small business that operates as a prime contractor for the federal government. Now, what does that actually mean for you? As a prime contractor, we're the certified entity that officially holds the government contract. We take on 100% of the federal compliance, all the SAM.gov requirements, the entire billing logistics, all of it. Basically, we act as the logistical bridge. The government deals with us, and then we partner with your hotel just like any standard commercial vendor. So you don't need to learn a million government acronyms, you just need to do what you do best, which is provide excellent hospitality. Okay, so how does this actually become a workable strategy for your property? Well, there are 3 really powerful reasons you're going to want to join the Lodging Sources vendor network today. First up, you get direct access to massive room blocks, specifically targeting your off-peak days. Second, you get guaranteed master billing. And third, absolutely zero government compliance headaches. When our team emails you an inquiry, all you have to do is prepare a standard commercial quote. That's it. So let's actually take a closer look at just how massive these room blocks really are. 900. To put that into perspective, that is the number of room nights required for just one single weekend event. Specifically, we're talking about the 88th Readiness Division's Yellow Ribbon Reintegration Program, or YRRP event, over in Salt Lake City, Utah. The Department of Defense actually hosts hundreds of these weekend-long events all across the country to support National Guard and Reserve members. And the best part? They almost always run from Friday through Sunday. That means right when your regular corporate travelers are packing up and checking out, we are looking to move hundreds of military attendees straight into your property, filling up your rooms at a really competitive, guaranteed rate. This perfectly illustrates the exact scale we're talking about here. Looking at the actual government price schedule from that Salt Lake City YRRP solicitation, just check out those line items. We are not just talking about, a standard 275 room block for 2 nights. We need staff lodging for 5 nights. We need a massive general session ballroom, breakout rooms, parlor rooms, the whole shebang. And right down at the bottom, guaranteed food and beverage minimums to feed 640 people both breakfast and lunch. That is an incredible, highly concentrated revenue spike all wrapped up into a single weekend. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what if my problem isn't the weekends? What if I really need consistent weekday stability? We've got that covered too. Beyond those weekend RRP events, Lodging Sources also manages indefinite quantity or IDIQ housing contracts for the Department of Veterans Affairs. For instance, we secure these rock-solid 5-year contracts to provide local hotel rooms for veterans receiving outpatient care at places like the James A. Haley VA Hospital down in Tampa. These veterans don't need actual hospital beds, they just need a really comfortable standard hotel room near their treatment center, and that's usually from Monday right through Thursday. So partnering with us on these specific contracts gives your property incredibly stable, long-term revenue predictability. And whether we're talking about a massive military weekend or a 5-year VA contract, I promise you, the payment logistics are going to be an absolute dream for your revenue team. No chasing down hundreds of individual credit cards. Lodging Sources handles the master bill. Your accounting department just deals with one single point of contact. We completely consolidate the entire event or the monthly VA stays right onto one master invoice. You get paid reliably, you get paid on time, and you completely avoid the friction of dealing with individual attendee transactions or, awkward declined cards up at the front desk.
But here's the thing. Behind the scenes, making that master bill actually possible, it's incredibly complex. Just to give you an idea, a vendor has to navigate this incredibly dense wide area workflow routing data table to get paid by the government. You've got to deal with DUDAC codes, service approvers, and this heavily scrutinized federal electronic invoicing system. It's a lot, but because Lodging Sources is the prime contractor, we take on that entire burden for you. You will literally never have to look at a complicated form like this. You just send us your standard hotel folio, and we handle the rest of the headache.
Essentially, you provide the exceptional hospitality, and we handle the government red tape. It really is that simple. Don't let these massive, highly lucrative contracts slip away to your competitors just because you aren't registered on SAM.gov. Head over to lodgingsources.com right now and fill out the vendor network form. It costs absolutely nothing to join, and it opens your doors to immediate, hassle-free federal revenue. So, here's a thought to leave you with. When the next off-season hits, are you going to be staring at empty rooms again, or will you be welcoming a fully booked master-billed government event? The choice is entirely yours.